Hi everyone, my name is Arshad Hussain, and today I am extremely excited to have with me Sam and Bruno from I-Square Developments. And Sam and Bruno are going to tell us more about the I-Square new development near Steeles and Ontario in Brampton, Stella 2 Condos. So let's welcome Sam and Bruno to gain insight into this project and most importantly, why this is a great place to buy in Brampton. So before we go further, I would like to ask you to tell more about the I-Square development history, what you guys have built in the past and how long you guys are in this business.
So we've been in the general building business for over 40 years now under different companies. I-Square Developments was something that Sam and I put together in 2014. We're cousins, we grew up together, we grew up on job sites. As kids, we were all over job sites. I like to say that our attention to detail comes from our family. They were in the construction business and they were craftsmen. And everything we do has that flavor to it. We insist that our construction team, we do all our own construction. And we insist that they follow through on that mission. We started, myself, I have more of a residential subdivision background. We were in low-rise, did many subdivisions. Started with 2 houses in 1979, and in 1981 we built 221 houses.
Wow.
I was a young kid, 27 years old, and had a major project that I was the president of that company. Sam, on the other hand, was doing more commercial and institutional type of construction. Later got into very customized homes in the Forest Hill area. Did a number of subdivisions. One highlight for me was working at Blue Mountain. My team and I became 50% partners of Blue Mountain Properties with Blue Mountain, the owners of the mountain, in the mid-'80s. And we went. They had a master plan developed, but it was missing a lot of elements for a great resort. We went in with my team and we redesigned the plan that they had, and we brought golf to it. We helped establish Montera Golf there at Blue Mountain, for those of you who know that. And we built 250 condominiums, the first 250, and then Interwest took over from there. But we had a huge influence on what happened at Blue Mountain. We did subdivisions in Vaughan, we were in Aurora, Mississauga. We started in Mississauga, a place called Deer Run, out at Credit View and Rathburn. That was our project under a company called Lowerwood Properties back then. But we've had a number of joint ventures, and slowly we've morphed from being a residential builder to a condo builder, as many builders have done now in the GTA area. And that's our main focus now. This project here, we had a 109 unit townhouse project we started with, which we're very proud of and sold very well, and investors did very, very well on their investment. Then we went on to a 21-story building, which no one in Brampton would have thought could be possible, because no one, high-rise was a death, and if you recall, no one wanted to build high-rise in Brampton because it wasn't the time yet.
True.
Time hadn't come. So we felt the time was there. Sam and I were big believers in building condos in that area. The city encouraged it greatly. And now we've sold out our 21-story building. We had our groundbreaking, as you know, last week. And we're well under construction of the 21-story building. That's going to deliver in 24. We are now starting to put our attention to Stella 2, which is a 462-unit project, 40 stories. Yes, it is the tallest building in Brampton for the time being. Because as you know, the tallest does not necessarily stay the tallest. And we fully expect that there's going to be a lot of development around us, and buildings are going to be in the 50s and 60s in that area. Brampton has a great plan for that area, and we fully see the future is going to be very bright for that particular area in Brampton.
Very impressive, very impressive. It's good to work with the builder, first of all, who are really having a very strong roots in our province, right? Canadian builder, right? And the second thing, having touching the both element, commercial and residential, right? And as you just mentioned, for sure, for a time being, it's going to be the tallest building, right? We don't know about the future, But as of today, it's going to be the tallest building.
Yes.
And I tell you, I'm very excited about this building because of the location. Phenomenal location. I went to the location, very, very lively location. And for sure, you're going to tell me more about it. I have a few more questions. Now, the building which you guys are coming up with, I believe that's named Stella 2 Condos, right? I have seen the floor plans. I have seen the layouts. Excellent layouts. I mean, the functionality of the floor plans, I always say it's very important for any condominium, because for investors, what they are aiming for, to maximize their return of capital, to renting out the unit to the right person. And for people who are looking to downsize, what they are looking at, because when they are downsizing, they really want to see and they really want to live in the building, and particular the floor plan where they feel more comfortable, where there is no usage of space unutilized. So I would say, could you please tell me more about how you guys come up with these floor plates, how you guys design these floor plans, and what kind of plans you guys are coming up with in Stella 2?
I'll have Bruno answer that because he does a lot of work. He's
also, I must give credit to Bruno, so he's not.
He'll say, Arshad, that he does not have OCD, but he absolutely has OCD. Oh yes, with regard to the obsession for detail,
Wow.
with regard to the floor plans. But I'll lead into it to say that the 40-story building, as you've indicated, we have the podium level, the first 5 floors, and then the tower, 35 floors. And incredibly, we've listened to professionals like yourself, Arshad, and others who we've reached out to ask them, what ideally is it that the marketplace is looking for? And so of the 11 unit floor plates, 35 floors each has an 11 unit floor plates. Incredibly, 8 of them are 2-bedroom, 2-bath units. Very efficient. We've taken advantage of more modern design, higher ceiling, more open floor space to deliver very efficient 2-bedroom, 2-bath units that are very affordable. And then I'll defer to Bruno because, as I say, he's had a lot to do with the floor plans, but particularly also the amenity areas.
Yeah. Would you like to tell me more about the amenities as Sam just mentioned?
Yeah, I think first of all, you referred to your investors. Well, investors are obviously very interested in having good renters.
True.
And to have good renters, you need a proper amenity space for these people. They're younger. We know they're going to be in their late 20s, probably somewhere in that mid-late 20s, 30s. Younger, need spaces to go and meet other people in the building. So we've geared our amenities to a younger crowd, both interior and exterior. We've really worked hard on our amenities. Just to name a few, I'd say that our amenities are as good as any project in the GTA. But to be more specific, we have 2 gyms, we have 2 party rooms, 2 dining rooms, a pet spa, we have a library, we have a lobby that's being shared by the 2 buildings, so 2 concierge controlling the 2 buildings. We have what we call an internet cafe where people can go there and bring their laptops and work and meet other people. Wow. We have co-working spaces all over the buildings where people can meet other people, bring their laptops. Kids are into streaming. There obviously there's internet accessibility everywhere in the 2 buildings. The building's a very state-of-the-art building in terms of it's got an electronic control system for locks, for lights, for blinds. It's actually got a central control system that can hook in a lot of things. And one thing that a lot of people don't really know, because what's really happening these days is insurance companies are now imposing restrictions on insurance. So the owners would be interested in this. Leaks are a huge disaster in a lot of buildings, as we know. If water starts to get into units, they can wipe out a stack of units in no time. We have a complete leak control system that will shut down the water automatically. As soon as it senses that there's a lot of water coming out of the risers, for instance, it will shut them down. If there's leaks in the unit, it will send a message to the concierge immediately and to the owner to let them know, hey, there's something's going on. Maybe somebody left overflowed the toilet or left their taps on. So we're watching all of that. Plus the control system on the locks is very important because we also have renters in our townhouses, and you want to know who's going in and out of your building.
Very important,
So
yes.
these locks take a picture of everyone going in and at the time that they're going in, or you can program them to let the cleaning lady in or your friend in. State-of-the-art system. The other big thing that we have in this building that beyond just the regular amenities is our green energy package. So most importantly is the geothermal heating and cooling. So Sam and I are a bit of pioneers here in Canada in terms of geothermal. We've been using it for a number of years now. We use geothermal along with what's known as a VRF system, which is a refrigerant system. It means that there is no water going up to a heat pump, as in some buildings where you could have heat pumps leaking. It's all refrigerant. So what ends up happening is we drill holes that are 650 feet deep, and in this building they'll be about 1,200 feet deep. And all those are pipes filled with water basically, and it picks up the temperature of the earth. It brings it back up into an area in our mechanical rooms, and then it exchanges heat with the system and takes it up to the suites. What's the good thing about this? With every unit of energy that we use in the way of electricity, we get 4 units of energy back. 3 of them are free from the ground. Okay, so you won't get a heating bill or a cooling bill in our building. It's all part of your condo, and we do not burn any fossil fuels to heat and cool the building, which is totally revolutionary. We use a little bit of natural gas to heat the boilers for hot water, but even that's preconditioned by the geothermal. Also, the little side thing with the geothermal is that all of our VRF units that are actually the units that command the heating and cooling in the system are all tucked in the ceiling. So you don't have that 2.5 foot, 3 foot block in bedrooms where a corner of the bedroom is taken up by the fan coil unit. So we've eliminated all of that. So when you say plans that are efficient, we've looked at little things like that so that you get the most out of what we've given you in terms of square footage. So if you get a 500 square foot unit, you get 500 square foot of usable space. And we've worked hours and hours with our team to make sure we get the drawings from the architects, but then we take them into our system and we scour the drawings to make sure that they are the most efficient drawings that we can produce.
You explained so well, because that was my second question, which I really want to ask. Which factors make this building unique as opposed to the other competitive buildings? And you explained so well. And I can see a passion on you, you so much passion. Yeah. So I really want to see the finished product when it's going to be built, and I'm very excited by talking to you. Now, there's another question which I have. Where do you see this pocket in the next 4 to 5 years?
So here, I'll try to speak to that, Arshad. So first of all, just as a segue to what Bruno was saying, so you were talking about the suites, very functional, very efficient, but not unlike Europe. I know you spent some time in Rome, you spent some time in London, England. You'll know that the condominium lifestyle, very efficient units, and so the amenity areas have to be very very open, available, and a variety of amenity spaces. But also, this is consistent with what Brampton refers to as the 2040 vision. So individuals living in their units, out into our amenity spaces, and then out into the community. So they have this plan that they've been working on for some time, and our buildings are the kickstart of this Brampton 2040 vision. And what it is, Arshad, is 20-minute walkable communities, once again consistent with the European lifestyle, right? Where within 20 minutes, you can walk to shopping, you can walk to employment, you can walk to learning, you can walk to a doctor's office, and this is unfolding as we speak in that area. One of the very key elements that enhances this vision is Patrick Mayor Brown and the council complete unanimity with an understanding that they cannot. Brampton is late to the game with regard to this, meaning that they can no longer afford urban sprawl. It's simply not supportable. In their words, that they will go bankrupt if they continue along the planning continuum that they've been on for many years. So they've understood they have to dramatically and immediately urbanize, and it's happening here. The epicenter of it is Steeles, here in Ontario. There's 60 acres, the RioCan Shoppers World that you'll be familiar with is being completely reimagined, redeveloped to give expression to this Brampton 2040 vision. In addition, incredibly, to our east side, there are 20 vacant acres of land that will be completely infilled with high-rise development. So an amazing, amazing opportunity to get into the ground floor of what you might see, for example, at Square One that you're very familiar with.
Exactly.
That's their vision, the council's vision, the mayor's vision, to in part replicate what you see at Square One in this area. And once again, as Premier Patrick Brown, who was at the groundbreaking of Stella on September 16th, this building will kickstart what they've been imagining, the Brampton 2040 vision.
Pre-construction, any investor invests in the pre-construction, basically they invest in the vision, because you're buying on the papers. And as you just mentioned about the Patrick Brown, the 2040 vision of the Brampton, these are very good signs, and it's really going to help the investors to visualize if they're buying now, and the closing, I believe, is going to be sometime in 2027.
Yes.
Right? So it's a great opportunity for someone, buying and acquiring a prime real estate today in the prime building, prime location, which is going to take around 5 years to build. So 5 years, it's enough time to maximize your return of capital if you park your money today.
It's an amazing opportunity, Arshad. We would not have time in this interview to discuss the many attributes of the City of Brampton. They have a link on their website, investbrampton.ca, that speaks to all the many features of that city that make it the now happening city where you want to be. So, one of the big things is the City of Toronto, Greater Toronto Area, for the last 5 years is the #1 city in North America, #1 for the greatest number of high-tech jobs. Incredible standout.
Yes.
And Brampton is part of this Silicon Valley that we speak of that extends from Waterloo. It actually goes along the GO line in some ways, from Waterloo through Brampton down into Union Station. High-tech, highly educated workforce, one of the youngest workforces in Canada, 36 years of age only, average age in Brampton. Big push for universities. They're trying to get a full-time university. They almost had it, but they will get it. Right now, there's Sheridan to our college to our west, the largest campus in the Sheridan college system. They have Ryerson downtown that's offering courses. They have the Rogers Cybersecurity Center, Algoma University, and this understanding and value and prioritization with regard to education. Advanced manufacturing in Brampton, one of the best, robotics. Biotechnology. They have just understood and embraced the progressive jobs of the future happening in Brampton. You ask, as we were asked earlier today, why invest in Brampton? The population in the Greater Toronto Area is about 6.5 million, projected to grow to 9.7 million. 9.7 million over the next 20 years. Large part, as we all know as Canadians. Why? Attributable to immigration.
Yes.
Yeah, complete a consensus in the political spectrum. Immigration, of course, a federal matter, right? NDP on the left, Liberals in the center, Conservatives on the right. Complete agreement that we must enhance, embrace immigration. Not unlike our American cousins that have a different perspective regarding this. So for so many reasons, we are so blessed. A diversity that's the GTA and that Brampton, of course, is part of. Things that you do not replicate overnight. Exactly. Our hospital system, how we've fared well internationally with regard to this ongoing COVID crisis. Or universal health care. You don't duplicate that overnight. Our educational system and so on. So many factors that to speak to the viability of investment in the Greater Toronto area, and particularly now in Brampton, because we have the land.
Exactly. So I think that's a perfect time to get into the condominium market in Brampton, because we don't have much condos, and I think especially condos at the right pockets. Stella too is the great opportunity for anyone who wants to be a part of it.
10 years ago when we bought this piece, quite frankly, we couldn't envision that we would have a 40-story building coming up in Brampton. Brampton was not the place to have condominiums. There were a few projects that had gone bankrupt back when we first bought this. And no one really thought that there would be a condominium market in Brampton. Today, it's a whole different story.
Whole different story.
The council had a lot to do with it. Mayor Brown had a lot to do with it. They got very progressive. But Brampton's in the headlights of development in general. Mississauga is starting to run out of land. So where's the next great place? It's going to be Brampton. It has to be Brampton. And Brampton and I think our project provide good value. We are, I would say, at least $100 a square foot less than...
No, I'm gonna stop you here, because that's my second question.
Oh, okay.
I want to ask you this. We know about the location, we know about the building, and I'm very excited. Now, what my viewers really wanted to know about the process for securing their unit, prices, deposit.
Okay, so Brampton and our project in particular offer great value to your investors. We are typically a good $100 a square foot lower than comparable projects like Mississauga or the VMC up in Vaughan. So we offer very good pricing, and of course we're a lot cheaper than anything in the city of Toronto. Toronto has gone a little crazy over the last number of years. Their prices are up in the
Arshad,
2,000.
you were mentioning earlier, Yorkville, $2,800 a square foot.
I
And
saw
parking.
I saw
Parking,
it.
a parking space, $180,000. My Lord.
So we offer very good value. We've tried to come up with economical designs, smaller, but still usable.
More functional.
Very functional. We made very functional designs so that we felt we could live in a place like that. You have enough room to have your friends over. But we kept them smaller so that the price could be kept down. So price per square foot is relative. How are you designing your units? Are they efficient units? But I would say that we are a good $100 less. And as far as buying our units, we work with professionals like yourself, strictly through the real estate broker network. I would encourage any of your users to obviously get in touch with you. But we use real estate brokers. We do not sell directly to the public. We like to go through, because we trust the relationships that brokers have and the knowledge that brokers have to advise their clients properly. And we think that if they get the proper advice, then they will buy from us.
We don't have much time, to be quite honest with you, to discuss more about this site, because Bruno and Sam, they have a very tight schedule. But I think what is really important here, to know how important Stella 2 condo building is going to be. It's a perfect time for you guys to invest in this great opportunity which is coming close to Steeles and McLaughlin. For securing the unit, prices, plans, or if you would like to know more about this great opportunity, you can book an appointment with me and we'll discuss more in detail.